and welcome to the Layman's Outlook. Now, for this episode, I thought I'd do a more engaging type of video, so I'm doing a guess game. Aren't you all excited? Now, for this guess game, I've picked one anime in which has made me cry, and I'll be giving hints throughout the video as to what this anime is, and after every hint, you guess. Now, in the comments, tell me when you guessed what it was, or if you guessed it at all. But after I give all my hints, I'll then be explaining why this anime made me cry, and of course, what the anime is. Please do like and subscribe. Let's get to the video, shall we? Now, to start off with, the first hint. Hint number 1. This anime is a sequel. Now, I know this narrows it down dramatically, but what can you do? This might just be an easy quiz, after all. Hint number 2. Now, that makes me feel like I'm doing the lottery. However, I'm not doing the lottery because nobody's winning any money for this. So, for hint number 2, I'm going to say that the main cast of this show is a set of 8 students. They attend school, do schoolwork, after-school clubs. On the side, they help save the world, which isn't the most original plot, but it's what you've got for this. It's not meant to be an easy hint. So on to the next hint. Now for hint number 3. For this hint, I'm going to give you an explanation of what the villain, or the first villain of the story, is about. They call him an emperor of sorts, and he's known for enslaving the residents of this world and ruling with an iron fist. He is a person in which is cruel, sadistic, and enjoys nothing more than causing pain and making them suffer for his amusement. Now that's the kind of guy you just get along with, isn't it? Now for hint number 4, I'm going to tell you the fact the person who wrote the story couldn't be bothered to think of a new villain, so they reused one from season 1 of the series in mention. Now isn't that something? Reusing a villain. Can't people just be original these days? Ridiculous. Even though it's still good, a great arc, it's the arc that made me cry. Oh, that's another hint. There you are, there's a free one. Guess that was hint number 5. The recurring villain is the villain of the arc that made me cry. Now for the last hint of this video, hint number 6. For this hint, it's going to be so obvious, it's going to be like putting a picture straight in front of your face. Because, hopefully, you haven't guessed the anime yet. And that's because I picked a rather obscure anime for a good reason. Because I did not want this video to be easy, no. I wanted you guys to suffer, to think through all the anime you've watched, all the possible anime. Which is why I picked an obscure anime that most people probably wouldn't think of. But for my last hint number 6, I'm going to tell you that each of the 8 members of the main cast has their own partner that they can help evolve in certain situations through the power of friendship, courage, and such. It insinuates one of the main themes of the show. It's about friendship. So that is the final clue, the final hint of this video. If you haven't gotten it now, then you've obviously never watched the show, because I will say it is a brilliant show, and when I tell you what it is, if you haven't guessed it, I hope you know what it is, because I want you guys to feel like, no, I should have known that. So I'll give you 5 to 10 seconds to think through all your anime, or if not, you just skip ahead 10 seconds, and then I'll reveal my answer to you all. So, now that all the hints have been given out, I've given you everything available. Well, I could have made more, but I've given you all the ones I've wanted to make. So, now it's time to reveal what the anime that made me cry is called. Yes, it's the time you've all been waiting for. The big reveal. Let's get to it. The anime that made me cry is Digimon Adventure 02. Yes, it's Digimon Season 2, the sequel to Digimon. Isn't that surprising? I mean, I bet none of you got that, and if you do, you get to win £0, zero anything, because I have nothing to give away. But now, in the next section, I will tell you why it made me cry, and it's all based around one particular character. But first, do subscribe and like if you've enjoyed this so far, if you've liked the reveal, if you like Digimon, please subscribe and like. And moving on to the reason why I cried to Digimon Season 2. Now, to explain as to why I cried at this so-called children's show, in which people call a Pokemon rip-off, even though it is much better than Pokemon, in my opinion, but I'm not going to get into that now. So, the sole reason as to why it made me cry is because of one character in the story called Yukio Oikawa. Now, this character starts and remains as a villain in the story, and yet it's turned on its head to make me cry. So, firstly, I would recommend watching Digimon up to Digimon Fusion, because after that it just gets bad and you don't really care about it, and compared to the originals it's just a slaughterhouse. But enough about that. Overall, it's a great franchise with great stories. But if you don't want to watch it and find out what happens with Yukio Oikawa and how sad it is that way, I'll explain his story to you. As a child, Yukio Oikawa was quite lonely and couldn't find many people that he thought could understand him. In middle school, he met a boy named Hiroki Hida, who became his only friend. And when they were both young, they would mess around with computers, playing video games, and somehow they managed to tap into the digital world. And after that, they became obsessed with it. Loved the fact that they could talk to creatures within their screen and what it was all about. They wanted to find out more, how to get to this world. This dream that they want to reach this digital world, to be able to talk to these digital monsters yet again. And in this series, they connect it to the first season, in which Yukio Oikawa sees the Digidestined after they've defeated a Digimon in Tokyo in front of everyone. They see the Digidestined going back to the digital world, and in that moment he has a sort of grief and a weakness in himself, thinking that he is not one of the chosen ones, not one of the chosen few that might be able to venture to this unknown world that he's dreamed of his entire life. Now, in this moment of weakness, Myotismon, the enemy that the Digidestined had defeated, takes possession of him. In return, he promises Oikawa the ability to be taken to the digital world. He's offering what he's been dreaming of for his whole life, and so he takes it up. In this possession, and when he can't really control himself, is under such influence of Myotismon that he's caused slavery and destruction and chaos in the digital world, the world that he dreamed of, that spent his entire life working towards, and he's destroying it. Brings a quite bitter sweetness to the story being taken advantage of. Now, Myotismon does get defeated by the Digidestined in Season 2, as you would expect, and he has a slim chance of making it to the digital world. Even the main protagonists are trying to bring him to the digital world. However, due to the possession of Myotismon, Oikawa is too weak to make it across. Even in meeting his partner, the Digimon in which he had spoken to at such a young age, even though he turned out that he was his chosen Digimon, relief and happiness in hearing the familiar voice of his partner, he can't reach it and he's dying. And in his deathbed, he chooses to save the digital world, to try and heal with the power left over by Myotismon, to heal, knowing that in his entire life, the one thing he dreamed of, the digital world, which for a split moment is shown right in front of him, he can make it across. He could be able to jump into the digital world. have his own Digimon, have everything he's been working for his entire life, and yet he can't because of this demon that possessed him and has killed him. So he makes the ultimate sacrifice to save the world in which he's so loved his entire life. This is the scene that made me cry. It's the fact that he's shown it and there's the possibility instantly taken away from him. It's incredibly sad. It makes me cry every time I watch the show. The thing about this that makes me cry is the fact that it brings some reality to the show, brings morality, brings a sense of danger, a sense of real life. As in most shows, you probably don't see many people die or any main characters die. So the fact that in such a bittersweet, stolen away from him way, he dies right in front of his childhood friend, his partner, his dream, just before you can reach it, it brings a sense of morality and human, and makes me feel human and weak, and that's why it makes me cry. Now I'm going to show you this clip. Get your tissues ready.
くじけてしまう時がある。けれど、俺はそれを乗り越えることができなかった。
ユキオ。
デジモン。
君は一体誰？僕、ピピモン、ユキオのパートナーデジモンだよ。
オイカのパートナーデジモン。
おい、聞こえたか？あんたのパートナーデジモンだってよ。
俺の。
やっと会えたね。ずっと待ってたんだよ。
いたんだ、俺のデジモンが。
僕だよ、わかるピピモン。
ああ、よく知ってるよ。初めて会ってからずいぶん時間が経ってしまったけどね。
こっちに来てよ、デジタルワールドに。
どうしてデジタルワールドに入っていかないんですか？
ベリアル・バンデモンが抜け出た体はすでに肉体としては力尽きているのだ。多分もうそんなに長くは。
そんな。
デジタルワールド、これがデジタルワールドか。ずいぶん荒れちまったな。
ベリアル・バンデモンを倒すためにエネルギーを使い果たしたからな。簡単には元には戻らないだろう。
異世界の力を、
異世界の
思いを具現化する。
それをどうしようっていうの？
体はもう動かない。でも
待って、そんなことしたらあなたは。
俺にも夢を叶える力があったら君たちのように冒険することができたんだろうか。
夢を叶える力ありますよ。だってこうしてデジタルワールドに来られたじゃないですか。パートナーデジモンに会えたじゃないですか。
もう行っちゃうの？せっかく会えたのに。
Thank you for watching this video, even though it might be a bit long, and I hope you got it right, because that means you're a Digimon fan, and if you're a Digimon fan, we'll get along just fine. Now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you like this format, if you want me to do more of this guest type of video, please do say in the comments, and thank you for watching.